Hi everybody. Hey, it's Craig Freshley here outside the Augusta Civic Center in Maine's capital city. I remember when the Grateful Dead played here 2 nights in 1984. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about a concept called providing structure provides fairness. Let's say you've got a meeting coming up, or maybe there's some sort of a conflict and a decision has to be made. In those situations, you might hear somebody say something like, we don't need an agenda, we don't need a facilitator, we don't need a mediator, we'll be fine. We'll just work it out. But oftentimes, the person who is promoting that process, which is really not much process, just, oh, we'll work it out. Most times, that person is in a position of power. And to not have any kind of process is in their best self-interest. That kind of person does well when there is no facilitator, no agenda, no mediator. That person who might suggest such a thing is good at negotiating, doesn't mind interrupting people, has a dominant personality, is a fast thinker, and is very quick to promote their own ideas. If you're that kind of person and you are self-interested and want to get your way, then you probably don't like facilitators, agendas, or mediators. But here's the thing. If you're the type of person who wants the very best decision for the group as a whole, keep in mind the principle that structure provides fairness. When there's a facilitator, that person might have ground rules and enforce ground rules. And one of the ground rules might be people get called on to speak and they don't interrupt each other. That everybody gets a chance to speak once before anybody speaks twice. If there's no agenda, then those that are most dominant will effectively set the agenda. But if you have a structure for agenda setting and everybody has equal access to it, then you have a better chance of spending time on the issues that everyone cares about and not just that a few people care about. Another way to provide structure is by establishing decision criteria. Sometimes a group or 2 people will put off a decision down the road and say, well, we'll just work it out. What tends to happen in those we'll just work it out scenarios is that the politically stronger people, or just by virtue of their personality types or other power imbalances, the dominant people will prevail. We can alternatively establish decision criteria in advance. And we can say something like, yes, we'll work it out later, but when we do, we are going to apply these 3 or 5 or 7 decision criteria. Maybe we're even going to weight them, maybe we're even going to score them and allow that to make the decision. Lack of decision criteria leaves decisions up to politics, essentially. Now, I'm not trying to say that every person who suggests lack of structure is self-interested or a bully or wants to dominate other people. That's not the case at all. But what I am trying to point out is that when you provide structure, you provide fairness. And you are more likely to hear the voices of everyone, the dominant people included. But you're more likely to hear the perspectives, the opinions, the ideas that everybody has to contribute, and more likely to make a good group decision. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for listening.